Hey guys, I think you're going to find this really valuable today. And this video is 4 tips to sell more. Yep, that's it. 4 tips and you are going to sell more. I promise you this if you follow this. So if you find any of this information useful at all, hit the like button and subscribe. It just lets me know that people are finding this of value. So let's jump straight into it. Tip 1 is don't talk about yourself. Okay. So many salespeople, business owners and people, whatever, just get too caught up in their own little bubble, their own world. Our problems and our desires and needs are ours, and we believe that there's nothing bigger or greater than us and ourselves. Cut it. Your prospect is the most important person in front of you at that moment. Without them, your business cannot operate because you can't sell and you can't take their money and grow. So you need to be focusing on them so much. They don't care if you've been skiing and done a triple backflip and landed it and had a beer after. They don't care if your favorite flavor ice cream is praline. They don't care. They will humor you, of course. But the reality is you are a cold person that's came in to sell them something. They don't really give a monkeys about you. So, like I said, don't talk about yourself. When you find that you're talking about yourself, stop and get them talking about themselves. So, tip 2 is ask questions. Now, questions are the most powerful, but also overlooked for new salespeople, business owners, and entrepreneurs that can't figure out where they're going wrong. Giving out statements, facts, and figures never sold. And if they did, all you would need to send a prospect is a leaflet. They could read it and buy. You need to ask them questions. This is where you can start evoking emotion, desires, and a bigger vision. So if I just say, hey, how cool is this? Do you like it? And they go, yeah, it's all right. You have to ask open questions and things that get them thinking beyond the immediate. So how would that make you feel if we could solve this problem? What would it feel like? What would it look like? How much of a difference would it make in your life? You want the questions to be more expansive and to get them to sit back and go, wow, I think it would make me feel amazing. If I could do this, that I'd feel on top of the world. Whatever it is in these questions you ask, you build the emotion up and the need and desires associated with your services or products. So always ask, how's it going to feel? What difference it will make? Why it will? Question further and get these real answers out, which are so powerful. So tip 2, make sure you ask questions. Now tip 3, wow, this one, so many people fail at this. As a salesperson, a business person pitching for business, you should be doing as little talking overall as possible. And you need to be especially silent in those moments when you need to let your questions, statements, and facts sink in. If you ask the client for the business, sit back in silence. If you ask them a question, such as, how would this make you feel? Sit back in silence. The first time you do this and practice the art of silence, you will feel really uncomfortable. You'll feel nervous, you'll feel anxious, and you'll feel a need to just fill that silence and blurt something out. Now, something I heard many years ago from a sales director I worked with was, and I'd never used to agree with this, I don't like how it's viewed, but it's whoever speaks first loses. He viewed the game of sales as a win and lose. I didn't like that. It's a win-win in my eyes, because if what you've got is right for them, they win and you win as well. It shouldn't be this. There's no lose in it. But if we go down that analogy of whoever speaks first loses, what he was getting at is if you ask something that is important and needs answering, if it's a question or a close, whoever speaks first loses. So if you fill the silence after you ask for the business and blurt something out, you've lost the sale. Whereas if you ask the question, go silent and they answer, you've got the business. So anytime you now go in and ask important questions, so look, how would that make you feel? Wait for them to respond. You will feel like time takes now, you'll feel like that silence for 2 seconds is like an hour long. It will feel horrible. But wait for them to respond, because they will feel the same thing you're feeling, this void of silence, and they will have to be like, they'll have to think of something. It allows you to extract the right information and get them to give it to you. And also it just allows for thinking time. It allows them to evaluate it. If you're constantly talking, questioning, they have no time to go back and think and relax and think in their own calm state. So silence is powerful for tip 3. Tip 4 is never, ever, ever fight the excuses. Fighting excuses is the worst cardinal sin all people make in business when they're pitching prospects. You will get thrown objections, excuses, and logic, and all these things thrown at you, and the rookie salesperson, the rookie business person fights them. So some objections that you might have to fight against is, I haven't got any money right now. I don't think it's a good time right now. Maybe we should leave it for another day. I don't think this is right for my company. Whatever excuses you get, agree. I completely agree. Just agree. Don't fight the excuses, because you have to look beyond what the immediate is. If you've got an objection right now thrown at you and you fight it, you start going at it, what's going to happen? The prospect is not going to just sit back and go, yeah, you keep punching me, I'll take that. Yeah. No, they're going to punch back. And eventually they're going to say, look, we don't want to do business with you. Agree with them and then disagree after. Diffuse the situation, then put your point across in the right way. It shows that you're actually listening, and it shows you care for why they're disagreeing. And then you come up with a logical and reasonable, logic why you can counteract that. But don't be the cheesy salesperson that has an answer for every objection. Always agree with the customer. So that's tip 4, fighting excuses. I hope you guys found these 4 tips really useful. Let me know in the comments below if any of these particularly stood out to you. And like I said, hit the like button and subscribe, so it just lets me know that you're gaining some value from this. And I'll see you on the next video. Cheers, guys.